Louder!
And it's time for the Gore N More podcast.
Gonna have a good time.
Gonna have a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
We're going on now.
A ball break, walking hand in hand in the moonlight. We'll be the sweet soul there. I swear we'll never part.
We're going on now.
A ball break, running in the sand, feeling alright.
And what's going on, Gorehounds? Welcome to the Gore N More podcast. I'm your not so mean fluff master supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing this shit show in. However, I do not bring this shit show in alone. For with me, as always, are my beloved horror brethren. Started off with that. I almost threw it off. I was gonna say the Dark Lord. I was like, no, he's not here. Dark Lord's not here tonight. Shout out to Chad Daddy. He's working a long shift, but he's actually at the support line for his little man rocking the soccer game right now. Yeah. Doing his dadly duties. So fucking giving much love to the Chad Daddy family and hope they pull out that win tonight.
Yes, please.
Right next to me, I have the meat mountain, that killing machine, Mr. Babe Amone.
Yeah, fuck nuts.
Fuck
We're
yeah,
here.
dude.
Good evening.
Look at those dimples right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's coming in. It's getting there. It's getting
Right?
Baby.
And we have the host with the ghost, Lord Scubacaba, the dean of the deceased, the duke of the dead, Mr. Steve Vasquez.
What's up, motherfuckers? And shout out to Richard and my buddy Dave. You know what?
What's up, boys?
I would love to get Dave on a show because Dave and I share the exact same love of horror. He's gotten me into some crazy movies that I never would have watched. And I feel like he would mesh well with us just to have him on as a guest.
Do you guys ever like disdain on the same movie sometimes, or is it always like the same?
There's some movies that he's suggested. I'm just like, what the fuck were you thinking, Dave? But then I'll go
Hey,
back
man,
and watch.
you know what? The fact that you watched them and
means
Yeah.
he did something.
yeah.
But I mean, he's usually he reminds me a lot of Chad Daddy, especially with the
Right.
knowledge of movies and stuff. Like he's very much like Chad Daddy.
What up, Gene? Fuck yeah,
What's
dude.
up, everybody? Hello.
No, Rich, you were correct, man. Conflict is interesting because I feel like that's where the solid debates actually come from. You know what I mean? Because, dude, we all feel it, man. In the episodes where we're either all completely fucking in agreement because we love a movie and we're just circle jerking each other at that fucking point, or the flip side of we're all completely shitting on the movie because it's so fucking craptastic. Amityville 3. But no. Today we are talking a very controversial movie amongst the horror community. I personally think, maybe even amongst this fucking podcast group. I don't fucking know.
You're gonna find out.
This podcast network.
Thank you. Not this show, but all the shows. Oh man. But no, we are talking 1993's Friday the 13th, Part 9. Jason Goes to Hell. The final Friday, so accurately dubbed. Well, I mean, technically until the reboot, it was because the next one was Jason X, and then the one was Freddy vs. Jason. So what's the last Friday?
It was the final Friday.
Marcus didn't lie. All right. But yeah, man, we are going to talk this movie. We finally got to this one. I'm sad Chad Daddy's not here, honestly, for it, but I know we got a video from Brode, so I'm sure he's going to have some things to talk about. And yeah, man. But before we do that, we're going to do what we always do and talk about what the fuck we did in the last weekend. But Scoobs is a little sick this week.
Yes.
So
I started developing a little cold, so had a small fever this morning, didn't feel too well, so I stayed home from work. So I cannot do my normal scream. So we're going to bring in Variant Steve from Universe 623.
Hell yeah, 623. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your
Yeah. Thank you, Variant Steve.
You know, I fucking had dinner. I fucking want a slice of pizza now. Every time.
You know, usually I would, but man, I just got done eating a thick ass plate of fucking chicken Alfredo, and I am way too stuffed for anything right now.
I haven't eaten dinner yet because it's not time to eat dinner here, but Mel's making kebabs, so it's going to be a good dinner.
All right, super small side note, but Flight of the Conchords, you know them, yes?
Yes.
Okay, the song Kebab? Have you heard that song?
I have not.
You need to play that for her tonight when you are eating kebabs.
Will do.
Because there's literally a part where it's like, you're the most beautiful girl I have ever seen eating a kebab. Like, it's just literally that fucking. But yeah, fuck yeah. Bob, how you been, man? How was your last weekend, homie?
I've been good. As you could tell, I am not in my normal room for the night. I am actually at my brother's house.
House sitting.
Pet sitting, and more of pet sitting than house sitting. The house doesn't need anything from me. Pet sitting for until Friday morning. I've actually been here since last Wednesday. I do miss my house. I love his house. I miss my house. I miss it. Give me a second. But no, it's good. But now that I got my rhythm for the week, I'm happy about it. What did I do? So Saturday, my girlfriend and I went with a couple of our friends, and we went and saw The Nun 2. And it was good, but like 2 minutes after I watched it, I'm like, that was the same conclusion, told differently.
From the first one?
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't watched the first one.
Put it to you this way. Go watch the first one, and then just go watch the second one, and you're going to literally be like this.
Here's my issue with those movies. We already know that Valak doesn't die because we already see Valak in the Conjuring universe, which takes place all this time later. So any way that these movies end where Valak dies, we know it doesn't fucking die.
Well, the funny part is she's technically gone in The Conjuring 2. And somehow, these movies redacted how to kill her. But that's a whole nother. Listen,
wait, what do you mean she was gone and killed?
At the end of Conjuring 2, she that demon actually was suppressed and sent back to hell. But the two deaths in these two movies, The Nun 1 and 2, it's kind of like how Freddy Krueger died in Nightmare 3. It made so much more sense the way he went. And yet, in like Freddy's dead, he blows up in the real world, and like that's our final Freddy.
I was fine with
it.
Awesome.
I get it, but at the same time, I'm like in 3, I'm like that makes more sense. But again, that's a whole. We'll be here for 3 hours, so it was okay.
Oh, Gene, don't even get me started on Leslie Vernon. I love that movie.
Leslie
Don't you,
Vernon.
Bob?
Yes.
Did you actually watch it?
Yes, I actually did rewatch it, and yes,
So, Gene, going back, if you don't know, we actually did review that movie, and Bob literally lied his ass through that whole fucking episode because he didn't
but I will say this:
I've done that before. I don't remember. I don't remember
the episode, dude.
No. I don't remember which episode it was, but I did not have time to watch the movie, and I lied my ass off. And if anybody ever goes back and listens just to the episodes that I've been on, you'll be able to tell because I'm just like, oh, I agree. 100%. I agree. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
No,
I'm trying to think. I think it was one of the Giallo ones that I did because it was just like, I can't do it, dude. Like I started it, but I just couldn't fucking finish
well,
it.
obviously, Leslie Vernon, I did lie through, but got caught. But there was another one I lied through, and you were all just like, nope, did not notice.
It's all right. I think we've all done it, honestly. It happens.
So, but what was I going to say? But yes, I actually
haven't done it in a while, though.
I did watch Leslie Vernon, and I do agree with you. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie, 100%. So, and then Saturday, my girlfriend and 2 of our friends, we were actually out in Pennsylvania in the Lancaster area. We went and did some apple picking. We went and had ourselves some barbecue, and we went to Field of Screams haunted attraction this weekend. It was their opening weekend. They still got their shit together. They made some changes. They were wonderful. They were great. They were in your face. I felt like home.
How was that chainsaw bar, bro?
Dude, fucking, we had a bag of blood, and it was basically vodka mixed with a whole bunch of shit.
Okay, so I was actually wondering what they were giving you. I was like, is it just fucking
no? It's alcohol.
Tomato juice? But no, I know, but I figured it was just Bloody Marys, honestly, in a bag. But
well, I actually said to the lady, I said, "Well, you need a Bloody Mary on this menu because you got a blood bag, but I need a Bloody Mary."
I'm not a Bloody Mary guy, so that wouldn't do anything for me. But
right, I'm like, I enjoy it.
I don't like tomato juice.
Fair.
Yeah. But anyways, so it sounded like you had a fucking awesome time Saturday.
Yep. Saturday was that, and then Sunday was chill out day here for my girlfriend and I because I had some stuff to do around here, take care of the cats. We meal prepped. just stuff going on here so I could get ready for the week. And then that was it. And then I, watch this movie, which I didn't need to by any stretch of the imagination,
That's fair.
but I did. Or did I? Find out.
I ain't even gonna lie, dude. This is actually one I have to watch because I don't watch it often. So like, I was just like, no, I have to like kind of pay attention.
Fair enough. And that was my weekend. So now we're
Nice,
going to go
dude.
down here to Lord Scubacabra. What did you do, buddy boy?
Well, I went to San Antonio on Saturday to go meet up with my mom because my mom and my stepdad were on vacation. They had gone to Oklahoma, went to the casinos. He wanted a little bit of money. So they were like, we're going to San Antonio to go spend the day. So they went to San Antonio. We ended up staying at the same hotel they stayed at. We just ate dinner and hung out with my nieces and my nephew and my brother, which I hadn't seen my brother in a while. And then Sunday, they left. Mel and I spent the day in San Antonio, and we went to the Wonderland Mall in San Antonio. They have a huge spirit store there. So we went to the spirit store.
Huh?
Yeah. And this mall was basically, it had some stores in it, but it was like an inside flea market. They had like a bunch of little shops, but all these shops were fucking cool because 90% of them were like horror themed. So yeah, and this is like, yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Why?
Yeah.
I can never find anything local like that.
They had so like every little shop had VHS tapes. I almost bought the Hellraiser special edition VHS that had like 2 VHS tapes. She only wanted like $5 for it, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not gonna take it. It's fine. But they had a huge like a trade show kind of thing going on downstairs in the mall, and it was a punk rock horror show. So they had people set up with tables, and they were selling horror merch, and we were just walking around looking at all the cool shit they had. I bought a whole bunch of new patches for my vest. What else did I buy? Oh, I got the tree topper finally for my Christmas tree. As you boys know, I always do a Gremlins Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I found my tree topper.
The bat.
Oh, that's fucking dope, bro.
So he had him priced for $59. So I looked online and I'm like, well, if I can find it cheaper online, I am going to just, I'll pass on it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So I looked online. The cheapest Amazon had it was $69 and up to like $150. So I was like, oh, I'll take it. He's like, cash or card? And I said, cash. $50 cash, no tax. Cool. I'll take it. So then we walked around, bought some more things, and I was talking to Mel, and I was like, what do you want to do for Halloween? So she's giving me all these ideas that she wanted to do for Halloween. And she's like, we could be SpongeBob and Patrick. And I'm like, absolutely fucking not. I don't. She likes to do funny for Halloween while I don't. I want to do either not serious, but I just
get
can't
to
do
funny, man.
I don't
always
want to
wanna
do funny though.
Bro, but let her just be Silent Bob and let her be Jay.
That would be great, but I don't think she would go for that. So,
but wait, what
option,
Patrick? Was it going to be sexy Patrick?
Yes, it was sexy
Patrick.
Yeah,
I
would have
should have done it.
Had to wear fishnets, which no, absolutely fucking not. Then she's like, "Oh, we can be Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy," and I'm like, "Absolutely fucking not," because I would have to be Barnacle Boy, and I don't give off Barnacle Boy energy. I'm Mermaid Man. I am the main.
Yeah, wait, why would you have to be Barnacle Boy?
Because he's taller.
Yeah, he is.
Barnacle Boy's taller than Mermaid
Man.
The older versions,
yes. But I don't. It's not so much the height. I think it's more the rotund. The belly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Because he's got the belly, man. You know what I mean? Like,
so I convinced her. We went through a couple other costumes. Like we were going to dress Charlie as Little Red Riding Hood. Mel was going to be the Big Bad Wolf, and I would have been a lumberjack.
Okay.
Which was another funny one. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I would do that one. I would
That's
literally just wear my fucking flannels that I always wear and carry around an axe. It wouldn't have been a costume that much. Some suspenders, maybe.
I would have done some funny stuff, like had a bag with like a thing of brawny sticking out just enough to see, like, you know what I mean? Just some whatever.
So I was like, well, look, I already have a Ghostbusters costume that I've only worn once.
Fuck yeah.
Charlie has her Ghostbusters costume that she's only worn once. Why don't we just be Ghostbusters? And she's like, well, let's go look at the costumes. Spirit actually did. It's not a bad jumpsuit that they give you in that costume for the female costume. I don't know how the male costume is, but the female costume, the flight suit actually looked pretty good. She checked them. She's a cosplayer, so the first thing she does is check the material. She's like, I don't know, it seems too thin. And I'm like, well, fuck it, just get it. And so she got it, and we leave that Spirit store. I bought her a PKE meter and the costume.
Word.
So I told her, well,
Did you
fuck.
get 80% pack or 100%?
They didn't have the 100%. But
yeah, dude, they're very hard to find at the stores right now.
But because she's so little, the 80%
works
pack
fine for her,
works
dude.
perfect. But she's like, well, I'll just use the extra proton pack you have at home. I'm like, well, I completely disassembled that. Like, it doesn't have lights. It doesn't have sound. Like, I completely took that apart because I had planned on repainting it and putting new parts in it.
Doing some fucking.
But I never did it. So we stopped at another Spirit store, and I was like, just let me run in real quick. I just want to see if they have anything that I might be interested in. So I go, they have one proton pack, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see if I have a 20% coupon. If I have a 20% coupon,
there you go,
I'm going to buy it for her. So I bought her the proton pack. I also bought myself, which I know.
And it's the upgraded 80%, so it's already got the pads.
It's got the clear
shit.
tip.
Like,
It's got the clear tip. It's got the pads. Like, it's
better
way better than the one I had. Yeah.
Better lights set up on it, dude. Like, for sure.
So the one thing that my costume was still missing was the walkie-talkie. And I know the Spirit one isn't that great, but
you can paint it up and you can sand it down and paint it, dude.
So I got it, and I'm gonna paint this bad boy up. And I didn't. I saw it. I had no idea that it talked when you.
Oh, you didn't?
I thought it was just a plastic thing. Yeah.
It's right here, right?
Do you have a lifeguard yet?
I do not have a lifeguard,
but that is technically GB2. So if you don't want to rock that, I get it.
But I do want one.
I like the lifeguard more than the walkie myself.
And I want a the fucking what the hell is it called? The thingy.
From number 2?
Yes.
The Geiger meter?
No. The fucking the one that didn't do shit. The little light thingy.
Oh, the belt gizmo. It's literally just called the belt gizmo.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna order one. Oh, there's Boss Man. How's it going, Boss Man?
What's up, boss?
But I didn't. So
Make
I thought about I'm going to eventually. I still gotta get the P tube for my costume and stuff too, and install that. And
dude, that's so annoying.
I'm good to go.
You're gonna wear that twice, and you're like, "Fuck the P tube, dude. Take it off. Just get the little thing that looks like you could have it there." That's all I got, dude. I got the little gray thing popping out, so you got that little pants boner, and then that's about it, dude. Because otherwise the P tube is just fucking annoying.
I still have so much shit to put on mine, so that'll be a winter project.
There you go.
So then
bro. So full family Ghostbusters.
Full family Ghostbusters. So, but then I asked her. I said, "Okay, name patch. I'm gonna buy you a name patch. What do you want on your name patch? Do you want your maiden name on there, or do you want Vasquez?" So I'm waiting for her to give me her answer so I can order it, and then I'll put it on there. And we're set for fucking Halloween, and it's gonna be fucking cool. And I told her we're gonna have to watch Ghostbusters like religiously every night until Halloween, just so she can be in the mood when we fucking do it. And then we came home, and that was it. That was my weekend. I got to watch this movie yesterday. Finally popped open the Blu-ray because I hadn't watched it. And I was like, why the fuck do I have an extra disc in here? I forgot that was one of the discs that they sent you because it was missing certain things on the disc that came with it. So watch the unrated version, and I'm ready to talk about it as soon as we hear from Big Johnny D.
Alrighty, let's see. What the fuck did I do this weekend? Well, my youngest nephew had his birthday party, so he turned 8. It's just a nice little shindig, nothing crazy, whatever. And then we went to visit some friends who just moved into a new house, and so got to explore their house. It was nice, little quiet town, but they were like super deep in the sticks, and now they're not. So the little bit of traffic they have might be different for them, but all in all, it's a sweet little setup. And coolest part is, like, I don't know how you guys get, man, but when I start exploring this shit, it's the shit that's weird that attracts me. Like, why is this the way it is?
Yeah.
Right. So he had a garage out back. It was just a one bay garage, and then it had like a barn kind of section to it. Super steep roof, dude. So like he could put a lift in there and shit. Solid. That's not the weird part. The weird part is the building behind it. It's not technically a shed, and I would never call it a shed. It's probably closer to a small one-room schoolhouse. This is exactly what it feels like to me. You open this thing, dude, the floor looks like it's 150 fucking years old, like solid fucking actual wood and everything like that. Crazy vaulted ceiling and just this one solid room. And I'm like, what the fuck was this? And we were just like an hour, just like fucking scheming in our heads because we're like looking all over it to see if there's any tail signs. It had haylofts, but there was no upstairs. So at one point it had an upstairs. Yeah, dude, it was weird. So we were just doing some stupid investigation bullshit and just trying to figure out like how this house was fucking set up. Then I came home, did some fucking gaming, and then Sunday I worked a fucking bunch because, well, I like that money. And yeah, and then I actually stopped at Mr. Gallo's house to pick up this Blu-ray from his collection, to which I sadly found out he did not replace the DVD. So even though it says the unrated version, I did not watch the unrated version. So we can talk about the differences that I did not get to see.
You know what the weird part is those first copies, only a handful of them. I actually got the unrated cut.
I honestly don't know the difference. So that's something
you
that we
would
can
know
discuss.
the difference right away.
How? I've watched the movie twice in my lifetime and I don't remember it enough to really care. So that's why I'm like, I want to know, dude. I really want to. Unless somebody told me like, yo, dude, this is what happens in this scene versus instead. Okay.
I'm sure we have it in the behind the scenes.
I'm sure we do. But anyway, so picked it up from that, came home, made some muffins with the family and everything. And then while still talking to Gallo and our friend Kayla, we were trying to like plan a shoot. So I just jokingly said, I'm like, yo, dude, because all the days we were like throwing back and forth just wasn't working. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it right now. So they were like, really? And they were like, okay. So we met up an hour fucking later.
Nice.
Did a super impromptu shoot. Came out really well. He's been actually editing a few of them right now. And Kayla's been with the fucking 13GL for over a year, but she's never done a Jason shoot. So that was her first Jason shoot. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And even Joe it was so funny because like we were out in the woods and he's like, I don't even know what to do. It's been so long since I do a Jason, to which I had to rub it into him a little bit. I'm like, yeah, it's because all you do is fucking Ghostface. So,
but you're not wrong.
Oh, he knows. I always give him shit, but it's all love. But no, and then I came home after doing a fucking Jason shoot and then watched this movie. So I was really kind of like in the fucking mood for it.
In the zone.
I was. It was like the best you could possibly be, unless I actually was watching Freddy versus Jason after the fact. Then I could have just like going out and went to sleep. But no, we watched this movie and I am fucking ready to talk about that right now because we are way too long into this shit. And so that is once again 1993's Friday the 13th, Part 9. Jason Goes to Hell. Boys, who wants to take the plot rundown?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, bud.
Jason Voorhees, the living, breathing essence of evil, is back for one fierce final fling. Tracked down and blown to bits by a special FBI task force, everyone now assumes that he's finally dead. But everyone assumes wrong. Jason has been reborn with the bone-chilling ability to possess the bodies of anyone he pleases. The terrifying truth is, he could be anywhere, or anybody. In this shocking, blood-soaked finale to Jason's carnage-ridden of terror, the horrible secret of his unstoppable killing instinct is finally revered. Directed by friend of the PL Network, Adam Marcus, Nerd Girl, Secret Santa. Written by Dean Lorre, Major Payne, Harley Quinn. Jay Hughley, Magnum PI, Silk Stockings. Adam Marcus, Texas Chainsaw 3D, Conspiracy. Produced by Sean S. Cunningham, Spring Break, The New Kids. Debbie Hayne Cass, House 4, My Boyfriend's Back. Bobby, butcher those names for us.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, he won't.
Starring Kane Hodder, Hard Bodies, Avenging Force as Jason Voorhees and the FBI guard. Yeah. John D. LeMay, Friday the 13th, the series, Without a Map as Stephen Freeman. Kerry Keegan, Jerry Maguire, Mind Games as Jessica Kimball. Stephen Williams, The X-Files, Supernatural as Creighton Duke. Allison Smith, Kate and Allie, Holes as Vicky Sanders. Aaron Gray, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Silver
Yeah.
Spoons, as Diana Kimball. Stephen Culp, Jag. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, as Robert Campbell. Rusty Schwimmer, Twister. I love her in Twister. The Perfect Storm as Joey B. Leslie Jordan, Will and Grace, American Horror Story as Shelby B. Billy Greenbush, The Hitcher, Critters as Sheriff Landis. Andrew Block, Hangar 18, Hard to Kill as Deputy Josh. Kip Marcus, The New Leave It to Beaver, Let It Snow as Randy Parker. And Richard Gant, Rocky V, General Hospital as Phil the Coroner. Body count total of 27.
Wow.
That's a pretty high one.
That is a high fucking number, dude.
I think at this point, that was the highest one. Everything else
had to be, dude.
Everything before that was always trying to get 13 kills.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was always in the teens, but dude, this is in 27. God, I feel like I missed some because that seems like
I
way
give you
more
all
than I
of them, but
remember.
Take
But-
over, John.
Fucking A, bro. All right. So Chad Daddy's not here, so I will gladly do his spot. Music by Harry Manfredini. Who do we know him? How do we know him? Weird. Zombie Island Massacre and The Returning. Cinematography by Bill Dill. That's a fucking great name.
Yes, it is.
The Five Heartbeats and Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. Actually, I believe we liked that one on this show.
Yeah.
Edited by David Handman, Wishmaster, and Deep Star 6, Wishmaster.
Make your wishes.
Effects and makeup by KNB, never heard of them. Distributed by New Line Cinema, runtime of 88 minutos or 90 minutes on the unrated cut. Ooh.
Yeah.
MPAA rating of R or unrated if you're lucky enough to have it or if your buddy has it. Budget of 3 mil, and then this bitch grossed 15.9 mil. So it made money.
It did.
It definitely made some money.
People love Jason. I mean,
And especially we didn't get Jason for 5 years,
yeah.
right? We had a
Yeah.
5-year hiatus where we were getting him every year at that point. Yeah. That's a hell of a comeback. But yeah, let's discuss this fucking movie, man. So first and foremost, this movie is it's a very, very disruptive one, I feel, against the community and fans for many reasons. I could see both sides. Having rewatched this, and like I was telling the boys prior, I haven't watched this in easily a decade. So while I remember the bits and pieces, I didn't remember all the filler shit, that's the shit that you need to.
Yeah.
So all in all, I actually was much more entertained this time around watching it than I ever have been before. I'm going to say that. But I'm going to say still, I think the biggest cry of this movie is still not enough Jason. And I'm only saying that not only from my own viewpoint, but from my wife's, who has never seen it. And she was just like, he wasn't really even in it. And I was like, and that's the biggest gripe.
And it is the biggest gripe, but I get how people can hate this movie, but I also get how people can love this movie.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
And I'm kind of in the middle. I don't hate it, but it's not one of my favorites. It's not one that I feel I need to watch, because Jason really isn't in it. And so I know I said that when we talked last time that you can't have a Jason movie without Jason in it, but that's just not true because look at Friday the 13th Part 5. Jason wasn't in
the
that
first
movie.
one.
Or the first one even. Yeah.
But I don't like the first one.
No, I agree with
I
you.
feel like
I
for
get very
me,
bored with that.
A solid Friday the 13th flick needs Jason with the hockey mask because even Part 2 is not one of my favorite movies. I have an aesthetic that I like for Jason, and that is with the hockey mask. I don't give a shit what he's wearing. I don't give a shit what he looks like under the mask. As long as he's got that fucking hockey mask on, that's Jason Voorhees for me.
Would you
but this
consider
movie-
this one zombified or human? What is this one? This one's a weird category.
This is the one that is none of that because they throw in the Necronomicon, because they throw in the fucking Kandarian dagger. This throws it into a whole different category because what is he now at this point? Marcus added a completely new level to
Yeah, he did. Levels.
what the fuck? Like, okay, where are we going with this? And I wish it would have touched base just a little bit more, which I know they couldn't because of, rights and stuff. But
Yeah, absolutely.
seeing the Necronomicon, seeing the dagger, it's like, okay, cool. This is in the same, maybe not the same universe as Ash is in. Maybe the Necronomicon hopped to a different area.
Was this before or after Army of Darkness?
After he got the prop from being on set with.
So Army of Darkness already did set the staple of there's 3 books.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I needed to know to go with that. Okay.
So, and I feel like I really did not appreciate this movie until I read the Ash versus Freddy versus Jason comics. Okay. Once I read those comic books, I appreciate this movie a lot more than I did when I first watched it because, they came out in 93. So 11-year-old Scuba really didn't appreciate this movie because I was pissed. Jason was my guy, and you killed him in the first fucking 5 minutes of the movie, and he's not in it at all until the end. What the fuck was that? My TV
dude, what's going on? I was gonna say, all your lights were just going and shit, dude.
Dude, my TV just turned on by itself. My TV was, where the fuck is my remote? But anyways, so it added this whole new level of what the fuck. But watching it now and watching it yesterday, I was thoroughly entertained. And I dig the whole body jumping thing because then at that point, it makes sense as to why he could be in different clothes, why he looked different in every fucking movie. So it kind of makes everything make sense. But then there's still all this other shit that is like, okay, well that
doesn't make sense to me with the whole body because when he's respawned, or after he whatever he's respawned, he comes back in with the clothing on.
Yeah.
So how do you respawn with the fucking clothes on? And maybe that's just the part that I need to overlook, and I understand that.
Let me hop on. I'm gonna find.
No, you're fine.
I don't know if I get it.
You're fine. Bob got a beer. Nice. What you drinking, buddy?
Beer.
Yeah, what kind?
I'm gonna need a beer for this.
No, you're fine, dude.
No, I'm gonna need a beer for this.
No, because my only issue, biggest, like I said, you just stepped away, was that he was respawned with clothes on. I don't understand that. I feel like, but I do know we were supposed to get a whole kind of different version of Jason at the end, or at least I think I remember reading.
I'll let you two continue, and then I'll come.
No.
I'm just letting it. I'm not letting it boil, but I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna let it go down the list because I agree with what both of you say. Oh, listen, I do love this movie, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is the greatest thing.
No,
I will not tell you that.
It's entertaining.
But here's where I bring up the point of contention with everybody, which Scoob's already touched on, is there's no hockey mask. And yet, some people have, I will say it just like this. Some people have the audacity to say, some here, I don't mean you guys, Par 5 is better. Well, it's not Jason, but it's a hockey mask. So in other words, I need a mask to make you happy is what it means. That's where it pisses me off a little bit. Because if I'm going, look, if I'm going for one of the scariest movies in this franchise, this movie is, I will say it, number 1.
And then for scary, but why? What?
I would say gory, sure,
because it's scary because we don't know what's coming. Everything else, you can literally guess the minute the movie opens. Someone's going to die in 5 minutes. Oh, that person's a red herring. Okay, how are you going to die? Well, we don't know. We just know it's going to be graphic. Yeah, that's scary, but we all know that blood and guts themselves is not scary. It's the lead up of you don't know what exactly is going to happen. This movie broke that mold. Yeah, I get it. We all want Jason and everything, but we have 8 movies before this. If we all got 9 the same exact way we got the first 8, what would we all say? Same thing. Where's the new? Oh, we got something new. Well, this fucking...
Yeah, but there's a difference between doing something new with the IP and completely flipping it on the head. There's a difference between, okay, let's move a couple of degrees this way and we could add some, like, no, not putting him on a boat, but we actually need to bring the kills back and we need to ground this shit. I think if you grounded it and actually did that, which is more of a now kind of a thing, that still would have just as worked, if not better, because it wasn't so off the rails.
But then they technically, if you go at that point, they did that already. Part 6.
Where?
Part
6
6
wasn't grounded. 6, they brought him back as a fucking zombie.
Yeah, but in terms of grounding, it was still one of those where it's like, ooh, this is new, but it's still the same.
I disagree, because 6 is where it started bringing in more of the humor and everything, and it started being more meta. That's where it changed the whole flip scale. 5 was your last grounded one, legitimately. 6 is where you changed the escape completely. Once you brought him back as a zombie, and I love Zombie Jason the best, but I still think that changes the aspect of it's not grounded anymore. You're in the realm of super fucking natural, which is fine, because that's what the whole, like, at this point's going. But it's like, and this is just me, I like a little supernatural. I feel like this had too much supernatural, and I just didn't need that in my Jason.
See, I feel out of all the slashers, Jason, Michael, Freddy, and let's just say Leatherface, I feel Jason deserves and needs the most supernatural because of all his stories. I mean, yeah, Freddy is supernatural. We know that. But he deserves it because he is definitely one of the characters where, if you want to just none of this is his fault to a degree in some sort of fashion.
This is true.
So
I'm not saying you can't make it supernatural. I just think a different sense of it would be better.
Maybe, but I don't know. I love, because Adam Marcus has talked about this. There's stuff in the behind the scenes, but I'll say this here because this isn't. The idea of, and I know some people are like so against the Necronomicon. I'm not against it. Because remember, it doesn't necessarily have to be the Deadite we all know, but I'm just saying, because there's always been a Necronomicon before the Evil Dead Necronomicon. Could just say, well, he is some form of it. But I like the idea that he says, I always thought that if Mrs. Voorhees used something, she was so desperate to get her little boy back, would do anything to get him back in any way, shape, or form. That makes, to me, Jason just much more terrifying.
But they should have hit the head on that more.
Well, they probably
I would have liked
well, yeah, why not?
But
you could have
even
5 minutes going back in past.
You could have a 5-minute flashback.
Yep, and have some girl.
You don't even show the book. You don't show the book because, of course, licensing rights. You can't.
She had a shrine, but they didn't say anything about it, Gene. They just showed it. Like, it was just like, okay.
Yeah, there's no explanation for it. Which, like I said, cool. Like I said, I loved it. We got the Necronomicon in it. Cool. That's fucking great. As an Evil Dead fan, fucking love that shit. But I need it to make sense. And it doesn't, because we get absolutely no backstory for
it. Just feels like it's more placement.
Yeah, it's just thrown in
we
there.
know he's a demon, but how is he a demon? Ooh, whoop, Necronomicon.
And I wish we could have, and I'm willing to bet it was also budget, besides the fact. $2 million, yeah. Okay.
But there's so more like Creighton Duke, great character. How the fuck does he know what he knows?
See,
I need to know that.
Here's the thing. All of that exists, but we won't see it unless Warner Brothers gives Adam Marcus a green light to be like, okay, go do your director's cut. That part does exist.
Does it? Like how he actually knows?
He had a whole backstory on how he knew who Jason was.
Because I feel like that is a crucial part to his character of understanding what the fuck and how he knows what he knows.
So I have a whole bunch, but I'll say what. So he had a monologue as to him and his girlfriend at the time were out on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Jason killed his girlfriend, which is what pushed him to become the bounty hunter he is.
And that's fine. That's all I need. All I need.
And it was there. It was all there. But as you read in our notes, there's an 88-minute cut and a 90-minute cut. Here's the main difference real quick. The 90-minute cut has literally every ounce of blood and gore except for one kill that they took out because of time. It's all there. Every effect.
Kill did they take out?
So Vicky had a boyfriend.
Okay.
Josh, who is Jason, who gets
He's a red hair?
melted. Yes.
Okay.
So the cop Josh, who then melts away after Jason leaves him.
Yes. the
Jason
older guy.
Jason takes his head, smashes it on the sink, and smashes his face in.
Nice.
So there was more to this movie, but New Line Cinema needed we need extra screenings a day. You make more money. If a movie is just below 90 minutes, you literally make the money is unbelievable. So the 90 minutes, you still get screenings, but that one extra screening a day, they want the more money. Also, Sean Cunningham was like, "You're not fucking with my money. You're gonna give me it."
Couldn't
basically.
you have, and this is just me, and obviously this is super retrospect, and only because we can see this now. Like, bro, you could have literally extended that jail scene for one more finger break and been like, and just have him give him like his other hand and be like, how do you even know all this shit? You know what I mean? Break his fucking finger, get it over with, or break his whole hand at that point. He's like, oh, that's real need to know. If you know what I mean? Like something, and then you just give him 2 lines, explain. He's like, I had a girlfriend once, and that motherfucker took her out. And ever since then, it has been my life's dedication to chase his ass
If
down to
Adam
hell.
watches this, maybe he'll be like, oh my God, that he was supposed to have the monologue as to why he even knows.
And you know what? Creighton Duke is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, dude, he's fantastic.
He's wonderful.
Franchise. He's great.
He's so ridiculous and off the wall, dude.
Exactly. It's like he's like a black Chuck Norris in this shit. Without
He's a
all
Black
the
Walker Texas Ranger, dude.
Yeah,
he's a Black Walker, bro. But I mean, he's one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise. And I just wish he would have been hashed out a little bit better.
Yeah, dude. Like, because he's like a badass, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This dude's breaking fingers for fucking payment. And
But you know, the one thing that
cocksuckers on the news and shit.
The one thing I do hate though, that I hate, and it just irks me so bad, and there it just is the through a Voorhees line where he could only come back through a Voorhees. It's like
be killed by a Voorhees.
Yeah, and it's like, come on.
But and that's where, like, obviously this one had to bring in that we had extra Voorheeses, because up until this point there wasn't any, right? That we knew of.
No, but see that we'll see. All right, I know now. I'm just going into deep lore, but see that's why I like this, because at one point it was supposed to be Jason had a brother, but Pamela hated him because Jason was just the smooth, perfect child, even though he had the head, but he was just like a perfect little child. The other one was a genius, but was this hideous thing that she didn't want to look at. So that's where the whole
like hatchet kind of a thing.
Yeah. So that's where like the whole sibling thing came from, which again, just for me, makes it so much more like scary, because it's like this woman cares about this one child, do anything to bring him back. The other one is still alive. I could care less that you're here.
But you know what though, that kind of goes with the whole grieving process thing. You know, she lost one, and she could, you know, not blame the other one for it, but because her grief is so much for Jason, she just doesn't give a fuck about the other kid, which would have been great to have been touched on too, but that's not canon. So
honestly, man, I think they should.
Yeah.
I think that if they were going to have a retcon this, but still make it supernatural, like, okay, you want to enjoy it, involve the Necronomicon, fine, but let's change the stipulation. Pam finds it, recites an incantation that's supposed to switch her
to give up.
It's supposed to switch her with him, but it doesn't work to what she knows until she gets killed at the end of that first movie, to which then brings him back. But because it's a curse, he can never die after that fact. So he will never be reunited with his mom. And that's the curse.
That would actually be wonderful.
Done. Simple as fuck, dude.
But
awful, also very sad.
And I will say this, because Brody said it here. Your answers were in the script, Johnny. No, he's not wrong. And not only that, the original script had so much more in it. But
I mean, this is another problem with, studio involvement or executive involvement, I should say.
I was going to say, it's actually the studio had no complaints what Adam was doing. It was Sean
Cunningham.
Sean was like, we've all heard the story. Get rid of the fucking hockey mask and the movie is yours. Do what you want with it, basically. Well, Adam did that, but he was also trying to put it together. And then, of course, the pre-production was a year long. So it was like, well, you can't do this, can't do that, can't do that, can't use this. And so it was like, he basically said, no, you can make it, but you got to chop it down. And even when he chopped it down, obviously there was a 2-hour cut of the movie. They chopped that down. Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is? As I'm watching this, dude, I always have an or at least I had an existential moment last night where I took myself out of it for a second and realized that, because he was what, 23? 24?
Yeah, he was 23.
23 when he fucking made this. Dude, if I looked at I'm 38 and couldn't do this now.
Yeah.
If I looked at my 20-year-old ass, there's no fucking way I would be smart enough to pull this shit off. And this motherfucker did it, dude. Listen, I might have my personal complaints with it, and that's fine. That doesn't change it. Like I said, I still thoroughly enjoyed it yesterday. You know what I mean? I think I enjoyed it more so than I ever personally have. And I'm not just saying that to fluff it up for this fucking episode or anything like that. It's just honestly, after reviewing movies with you fuckers with 5 years and shit like that, you just start looking at it. Dude, I hate that I start reviewing normal movies that I'm not fucking reviewing. Like, you guys ever do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bob and I were doing that at the fucking con.
Yeah. Oh my
Fucking
God.
back and forth, and everybody, I felt like a dickhole because everybody else in the room is just listening to us fucking banter back and forth.
Mhm.
And Rebecca even said, she's like, I feel like I'm watching a live episode of the podcast. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to fucking happen.
Yeah. But so, like, I totally understand why people don't like this. Yes, I get the whole Jason thing, but I still stand by the fact of, if we got the same exact thing again, which we did after this movie.
Did they reuse the same music from this to X?
No.
The
X is
intro music is the same?
Nope.
It sounds exactly the fucking same to me.
Nope.
Dude.
It's all different. And I also will say this. The soundtrack for this movie is, to me, one of the best ones of the whole series.
See, okay, now Brody, thank you for putting that, because that was something else. We did get a little bit where they were like starting to decompose or something, but that would be cool, man, if you started seeing like the sores of like the mask holes and stuff like bleeding out.
That would have been fucking cool.
No, was in the script, was tried, couldn't do, budget was too small. Adam wanted it.
It might have not. It sounds cool in theory, but it definitely might be something hard to like pull off visually wise.
Yeah.
That would still look good.
Well, they were going to do it. It was just too expensive. He did talk about, like, if he ever had a chance to do the little director's cut, he would find a way, visual effects, if done right, to put it in, if he could.
Yeah, I don't know how you would. I know. Maybe now with technology, the blending and stuff would be a little better. And
That's exactly it. But see, here's the thing, though. All this stuff that this movie brings up, just whether it's past, present, or future, this is where, like, some people are like, oh, it's not canon. I'm like, but there's other movies that people will talk about and they want it to be there, but it's not there. And then when you argue it and it's just like, oh, you know what I mean?
Canon in what sense? Because, dude, first of all, let's look at every fucking horror series. Nightmare is probably the one that's the most cohesive.
Yeah.
I would say, because this is the moment where you could start doing split offs. Up until this, I would say Friday the 13th was also there. But like after this, obviously it's another like 10 fucking years or 7 years until we get X. But they knew what X was right as they were writing it. They were like, yeah, this is going to be a ridiculous one. And I still love that X, dude. Oh, I know, man. That's
one of my favorites.
That's going to be a good one too.
But and then you got, Freddy vs. Jason after that. And then we didn't get all the way up to so after that, it was just like kind of its own weird little shit show. But like Halloween, dude, Halloween's got like how many different fucking timelines and shit like that too. Like Doc McFly fucked that shit up way too much. And then Texas is all over the fucking place too. You got like 3 different fucking murder families throughout that whole series. Too. So,
but
is it Sawyer or is it fucking Hewitt?
Or is it Slaughter?
Yeah.
I'll find out.
No.
A little bit of everybody. Big family.
And then the other thing I will say also, this movie, again, it's one of my favorites, but one of my most favorite things is how Jason looks.
I like the look.
I love the fact that his face and head is just so malleable and the mask is sinking. Like that to me makes it go like, okay, so that thing is never going to come off without
it's
some
because
force.
he's, I like the fact that, we know he's dead. Dead bodies bloat. So that's what I feel like, where I feel the whole mask sinking
Oh,
in.
I guess I never
man.
thought about it like that. I was just thinking he was just more like Tumor Man in this fucking one, less than.
No, I
dead.
feel like, it's like him bloating and stuff, which is fine. Dead bodies do that shit.
He looks like a nutsack, dude.
He does.
He
But
looks like a fucking nutsack.
That's a scary nutsack, though.
I'm not going to say it's not, but it still looks like a nutsack.
This mask was the first mask that I ever owned from Friday the 13th series, was the Jason Goes to Hell mask that
Oh, nice.
I bought at like a Halloween store back in the fucking 90s. And I kept that son of a bitch until it deteriorated. Wish I still had it, but I don't.
Nice.
Well, now you can find him. You got to pay for him.
Yeah,
So-
well.
All right. One thing we didn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me just say one more thing on the look. And I know people say, well, it's not him. Oh, it doesn't go canon with the other movie. I'm like, yeah, and the other movie didn't go canon with the other one. But besides the fact,
What, the blue and the fucking prisoner jumpsuit?
yeah, but then like in part 8, it doesn't look like part 7. So I'm like, well, that doesn't work. And they're like, no, yes, it does. I'm like, I shut the fuck up. No, it doesn't.
I wish, me personally, I really wish there was a little bit of color variation between the pants and the shirt. I don't personally like the all solid.
I don't like the tuck in. I don't like the tucked in.
He looks like he's
shirt.
wearing a Canadian tuxedo to me, and that's what I can't get past that thought.
I don't like the untucked or the tucked in shirt.
Like part 6.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Like, he took the time to make sure his shit was tucked in.
Right? Like he looked in that
no.
mirror. He was like, "We go down the back." Yeah, all right, we go.
But I feel like they did that because it probably, because of the bodysuit he was wearing with it untucked, probably made him look super overweight.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? And so
Gene, you laugh, but you know what? I would have taken full naked Jason at the end of this than him just respawning with clothes on. I didn't like that.
That's what it should have been. Was
He should have been
Jason.
fully bloody naked Jason. Maybe still the mask there, but him just fucking like all boils and I don't know. That'd be a whole different ending,
there was a demon Jason that we got.
Yeah,
but
dude.
no.
Kind of did.
No. So, all right. Okay, I've seen it. I have the work print. Nerd. There was a full body. There was a full body, legless demon Jason.
Fuck yeah! It was
you could tell it was because the eye was there. This one was gone. Like you could tell. So that was supposed to be there, and then obviously it goes down in the basement.
Doesn't Clayton like kind of wrestle it and he throws it in the basement?
Yeah.
That's how that one goes down. Yeah.
But of all the looks though of Jason, and I also stand by, this is the scariest. Yes, there are some things like, okay, untuck the shirt, but if I didn't want to look behind me to see one, I think it would be this one. Like, oh, fuck.
I'm still sticking with part 7, bro.
7.
I'm
Seven's
sticking
the
with
scariest.
7. Yep. Hands down.
7
Always
is the
will.
scariest look.
And that might be nostalgia talking to me. That's fine. But I'm still
The movie's not that great, but 7 Jason's scarier. I give it to part 7, Jason.
I think it would creep me out because even if I saw this Jason as intimidating to be, I'd still be like, yo, what's up, you tumorous nutsack? Like, you know what I mean? I'd still talk shit to
Those
him.
would be the last words John ever said.
Yeah, but the other one, if I saw part 7, I'd be like, nope. And then fucking my fat ass would be running, dude. Be like, nah, man, I can see that dude's fucking spine, bro. And he's moving. I'm good. Although I guess you can kind of see that a little bit in this too. You can see his like a little bit of bone structure.
But there is a lot of good stuff about this movie,
Dude, the kills
especially
are fantastic.
The kills are fantastic. The supporting cast is great.
Yes.
We have some very promiscuous tent sex in this one.
Yes,
we did.
We did.
That was where the angry pickle was not allowed.
Let's see. Dude. I mean, the gore and the kills were great, and I think even the acting in this movie was fucking pretty solid. Like, I love our diner characters, dude.
Oh yeah,
Rusty Swimmer and her husband, fantastic fucking little side characters, dude. They're great. How do you not love them? And their son, you know what I mean? He's cool too.
I've always wanted.
What the hell's his name?
Fuck. What the fuck was his name? Bobby, the son's name.
What's the son's name?
Ward.
Ward.
Thank you,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. No, he was even a cool fucking character. You know what I mean? Gave him his car. I still think I think our main dude was kind of a dick to his cop buddy. Like, I understand he needed to get out of prison, but I feel like he could have explained it to him a little better than just punching him and taking his gun and pointing it on him. Like, I was like, Jesus, dude. Like, but all right. Do you boys want to hear from the Brody?
Yeah, let's hear from the Brody because we could go on all day.
Oh, I know. We're almost at an hour. So that's why.
Well, howdy fucking doody there, folks. It's your DKB here back for another episode of Gore N More, and this week I'm here to talk to you about Jason Goes to Mother Flippin' Hell. That's right, he fucking does. He goes right down the shitter and he meets up with one of the more iconic horror characters and they duel it out in the future. So this week I'm here to talk to you about why I appreciate this film, why I like it. It's definitely my favourite in the franchise. I remember watching it as a kid. That mad nostalgia just comes back to me every time I fucking watch it. Watching it with my brother and his older mates. I was only a fucking kid. But I do remember everyone celebrating with that special ending in this film and cheering throughout the blood, violence, guts, whatever it was. I think the Australian VHS release had the uncut version from my understanding. I haven't watched the Scream Factory edition, so it was really good to see all that come back with that nostalgia rush, like I just mentioned. But yeah, let's move on to why I fucking like this film. So one of the reasons why I like this film probably the most is more so for the fact that we get something a little bit new and tasty, something a little bit on the tongue that's a bit fresh. And having been 8 films in by this stage, it's sort of the same old repetitive shit. Even though it's been good and it has a formula that works very well, I still dig the previous films prior to this. This comes along and does something a little bit different. I mean, you blow Jason up in the first 5 to 10 minutes and then you're like, what the fuck? And then the body horror element comes into it. That's probably the second thing I love about this film as well. And, you know, just bulk violence, practical effects, and that's probably my third is the practical effects. And not to mention the special cameo ending. But yeah, anywho, without trying to spoil too much,
spoil it,
I mean, if you haven't seen this film by
Came
now,
out in 93.
and I do spoil shit, serve yourself right. Yeah, because you should have fucking seen it and treated yourself years and years ago by now. And even if you haven't seen it by now, you definitely need to kick your own ass for not having to. And yeah, go and suss this out fucking immediately. But as I was saying about the body horror element to it, I really appreciate that as well. It's very graphic, very violent, and that's what I love. The body horror is definitely my kind of niche. It's a subgenre of the horror genre that, like I say, if there's ever that involved with any film, it fucks me up. It makes me feel uneasy. Sends shivers down my spine. It's not good, but that's what I enjoy it for because it fucks me up. Not many horror films these days do that, so this does some great shit. And so the practical effects that I previously just mentioned are definitely help that flow with the body horror element of this. I mean, there's one scene where we get this bloke corroding away after Jason, this demon, leaves his body. That shit was dope. I thought that was a really cool fucking fun idea to have the body actually melt away into nothing after he's used the life force or whatever it is, to help him spawn up from different, various types of body jumping and that. And, I thought it was really cool, fun, unique little idea that really worked. And I only just wish we had got fucking more of it throughout the body count in this. I do appreciate how we get some awesome fucking kill scenes in this, some memorable ones of the fucking whole entire franchise. Let's be honest, I mean, that tense scene where the bloke gets ripped in half by the fucking
when the girl
pole.
gets ripped.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to stay in your mind for fucking years, isn't it? So, yeah,
that's
it all speaks for itself.
One,
and it all comes full circle. It's bloody beautiful. It's bloody marvellous. It lingers on the palate and I fucking love it. Yeah, so like I was saying, at the end of the day, this film had the balls to do something fucking different and unique, which I really, really appreciate about it, and more so for the fact that a fucking 20-ish-year-old was able to write and direct this fucking film. I mean, that takes big balls to try and take on a big project like this as your fucking first feature film, so hats off to Adam for that. And I better not forget, this is my favourite Jason design throughout the whole entire fucking franchise. I remember as a kid, I'd get on the internet, I'd look up Jason, and I would always go to Jason Goes to Hell because I love the double denim Canadian tux with the belt.
See, that's why I'm so glad you said that, but I hate that.
That was really fucking cool and iconic and actually intimidating, but there was just some weirdness about it that I don't know, I just look at him and just could find something different and unique about him because, I mean, we'd sort of seen the same old Jason, especially after Manhattan. That was a pretty piss fucking weak effort of trying to design a newish and old, decayed, decrepit fucking piece of shit zombie. But yeah, this one sort of makes it feel and made me think that, there's somewhat deep inside his fucking curse or the skin or whatever it is, it can start to re-heal himself, but just all deformed and fucked up. I don't know. Anyway, I fucking loved it. Whatever. So yeah, this is your DKB giving it a mother flipping goddamn son of a bitch and Gore N More score of a goddamn 4.5 5. That's right. You fucking
All right.
heard.
I thought he was going to go
4.5.
4.9.
Might be
That's
setting
why
the
he was
bar a little bit
out.
high, but I do not care
Oh, you're fine, bud.
because
your
I
score.
do appreciate this film and for what it is. Nostalgia, baby. Nostalgia. So, anywho, DKB signing out. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this film, and I will catch you mother lickers next week. Take it easy, gentlemen. Peace the fuck out.
Thank you very much.
Thank
DKB,
you, Brody.
buddy.
You know, there is one thing I'm going to touch on that he talked about, especially the opening scene. For 8 movies, not a single outside officer of any kind ever helped with trying to catch this motherfucker. That's why I also like this movie. It does keep, well, a little bit of reality of, first of all, this guy's been killing for 10 years. No major corporation of law enforcement's going to come and do something.
Like no FBI, nobody would come in.
And like, that's why, honestly, I actually think that's one of the
Mr.
scariest scenes, 'cause
411,
it's like,
baby.
because
you know what?
like, wait a minute, how the fuck we get? You blew him up. You blew him up.
But you got to remember too, they were trying to keep it hush hush because they kept wanting to try to reopen the camp, try to do all this other shit. So they're not gonna fucking go and say, "Hey, we got this problem going on." That's probably why no other agency ever came to help before. But what I really, really, really appreciate about the opening scene, she had a nice fucking rack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she-
did.
Oh, so you know what I got to say about the opening scene, which is this is a shout out to my wife, and I told her I would bring this up. She says she calls bullshit because it doesn't matter how tight you tuck a towel. There's no way
it would have
it's
came off
sticking like that.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Like,
shit.
oh, yeah,
would've
that
came
bitch
off.
was taped. That bitch
Yeah.
was taped like a motherfucker.
No, it was actually Velcro.
All right, even more
Well, it
so.
was. No, they said that like, no, that's a piece of Velcro.
Yeah, it had to be, dude. They should just make towels like that anyways at this point.
No,
But you know what? I
Not
do.
for us.
I do love that opening scene because it threw in every single like cheesy trope from the
See-
previous movies. She's alone in the cabin. She's gonna shower. Lights going out.
That
You know-
was good. I didn't like, and this might be a gripe of mine, I didn't like the intro credits over those scenes though.
Yeah.
Because they felt cheap. They felt cheap as fuck. And that to me already kind of set a bar for going into this movie. That's not a good set. That's
Yeah.
just me saying. And I think anybody watching this for the first time could easily feel like that too. Because, dude, that opening intro, the way like just the title cards are and shit, feels like cheap 90s fucking like soap opera shit.
Yeah. I could see that.
Fair enough.
The wife even called it out first time too. I'm like, no, I agree. But I feel like once you get into the actual like, maybe past the Power Ranger ninja flips, because that's also a little cheese. But once you get into the rest of the shit, dude, like, I don't know, man. I feel like the movie knows what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
you
I
guys
mean,
said, it's the 9th iteration. There's
Yeah.
only so much you could do the same shit without poking fun at yourself. And that's
But that's
They-
what the opening scene was. They did what the other movies did already in the opening scene, except for blowing him up, which, you know, that was completely.
which how'd the heart survive in that, dude? Like he took a direct hit to that chest.
Yeah, he did. Well, maybe it started to regenerate or some shit. Who the fuck?
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the pieces were already starting to regenerate by the time they got back to the fucking
Yeah.
the morgue.
Probably.
But and so after, you know, after the opening scene and the credits and shit, that's when the movie just completely is different formula from anything that we've ever
Yes.
seen Friday the 13th wise. And like I said, it's got some good, but it's got some bad too. It's not, there's no perfect Friday the 13th movie.
What?
Yeah. I mean, we could sit here and say like, oh, this is the perfect one.
Like
but
people can
even
say,
the most
"Okay,
perfect one, we could be like,
part 4's the perfect Friday the 13th, but it's not.
Nah.
no.
That is a huge argument for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
I would disagree. I disagree on that.
Well, we could. But here's the thing: like when we say, I say perfect. We could say, let's just say any one of these. Oh, that's the perfect Friday 13th. As perfect as something is, we could all pick it apart. And be
Oh
like,
yeah, it's always still gonna have its fucking
yeah. So
like,
that's my thing. But that's why with this movie, I said it before. Like again, we're at the 9th movie. Yeah, we
Now-
could have sit here and gotten a whole bunch of Jason and this and that and changed this and that. Oh, it's different. At the same time, if you really take out some of the different moments that make it that way, it's a little hard. This just went no, fuck you. This has to be different.
I
whether you
will.
like
I
it or
will
not.
give this movie. I will give this movie the fact that I did enjoy this better than Part 8.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Oh,
Way,
100%.
this movie is
100
way better than Part 8.
It did not feel like a chore to watch.
Exactly, and that's
8 feels like a chore to watch. dude.
While
It's
8
too
does have some cool
long,
scenes in it, it's too long.
and there's
It
not
makes
enough,
absolutely
no gore.
no fucking sense.
No.
Like,
Somehow that makes less sense than fucking this, dude.
yes, exactly.
I'll agree with that 100%, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if honestly, like, if I was going to shit on anyone the most, I probably would shit on 8. There's so much shit I hate more about 8 than I do this one.
Agreed.
Now,
So good job, Adam. Good job.
Dude, like I said, man, I'm still impressed that a 23-year-old fucking pulled this shit off. Like,
Yeah.
that blows my mind. Now, the mirror thing, interesting gimmick. I still have even issues with that. Only because I feel like it's one thing if Jason or the audience sees himself in the mirror as him. But for somebody else to see him, I don't know. I just don't know if I like that. It just doesn't make sense to me, I guess. Like,
see, I
actually magic.
I liked that. Like, that to me added a whole. You want to know why? I think the reason why I liked it, I think it was just to show the fact that person, you are not ever going to be yourself ever again.
Yeah, but that's like a whole different level of like, now I have questions of like, okay, do mirrors in this reality show our souls? Like, is that what we're fucking going as far as? Like, now that's going to creep me out even more, dude, because now I'm going into fucking vampire lore and shit.
I honestly think, I think that's where that was going. It's like that person's gone. It's going to show you what you are now. Because if you look at that guy, at Josh's face when he sees the reflection, he's like, wait, what? Even though he's like, that's not.
Now, what's something that's cool in this, obviously, the idea with the mask coming out of the face would be like if a possessed person was looking at themselves in the mirror and seeing Jason.
They saw the demon. Yeah.
I was going to go a step farther, but then they actually start to cut their face and then take off some skin and the mask is underneath it.
Ooh, that would have been sick.
Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that was a way around it.
In a perfect world.
Yeah. But no, man. All right. So Brody gave us a 4.5. Do we get a score from Chad Daddy?
I don't think so.
See,
let me message him. I'll text him right now.
I think I'm going to cap our discussion point because I think we definitely need to hit behind the scenes at this. We are definitely over an hour. So, Bob, I'm going to hand it off to you, homie, because you got him. So,
yes. So it's time for some behind the scenes. We're going to jump around here a little bit. Some of it I mentioned, but I will do some little explanations with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, due to the presence of the Necronomicon and the dagger from Evil Dead, which actually, by the way, that's not the dagger from Evil Dead. This dagger was specifically designed for Jason. Just saying. He's awfully incorrected, or Jason is often incorrectly assumed by fans to be a Deadite. You could take that or leave it however you want. This was a simple fan service Easter egg by director Adam Marcus at the time. He intended the backstory for Pamela to use the Necronomicon to resurrect her dead son, explaining why he's hard to kill after he drowned in the lake. But Warner Brothers, they didn't own the rights to the Evil Dead. Neither did New Line. Warner Brothers owns them. Owned by Universal. It couldn't be legally done. So at the time, yes, it was just supposed to be a prop. But he did have intentions to use it as to why she used it for him.
In other movies that we have particularly watched, and I'm drawing a blank on anything, but I feel like we just watched something recently where they have involved demonic books. Zombie one or the fucking Scouts guy. Didn't they have fucking?
No.
What had the demon? We literally just talked about this in a few episodes because I remember Scoobs, you and I were mentioning it, but we were like, "Yo, this could fit in with the Evil Dead universe with this book."
We just watched it.
I know. What the fuck was it? Why am I drawing such a hard blank?
Oh God.
Holy shit. God damn it, Chad.
Yeah, where's our Chad? Anyways,
I'm going to YouTube to see our past episodes and maybe it'll.
But anyways, like, could you have went with just maybe this angle, like make a similar-esque Necronomicon so you didn't necessarily have to use it, but then you could go more into that backstory, I guess.
Well, I think if he had the backstory to do it with Pamela, I think you would have gotten that, honestly.
Word. That's fair. Either way, man, I mean, it's still a cool nod.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish if I was a kid in theater seeing this shit, dude, I probably would have shit my pants.
Fair
Like,
enough.
honestly.
Okay, so we talked about this one, but again, I'll do it because I think, again, gives the explanation. Just before Creighton Duke handcuffs himself to Jason, he says to him, "Son of a bitch, you remember me." Final film, yes, it sounds nonsensical. It sounds nonsensical. But in the audio commentary for it, it is revealed that the script at one point had it that Jason killed Duke's girlfriend. His backstory initially explained that he was canoeing with his girlfriend in Camp Crystal Lake before Jason emerged from the water and dragged his girlfriend down into the lake. This led to his career in the police force as a bounty hunter, dedicating his life to hunting down Jason for revenge. It was all cut from the film.
Nice. And we're idiots because it was literally last fucking week, Studio 666.
I was going to say Studio 66.
Yeah.
I just looked at it right now.
As I'm sitting here thinking about, like, what did we just fucking watch?
I'm doing what Scoobs did, and I went to like our list, and I'm like, oh, it's literally just last week's episode. Like, God,
I was looking at
damn
it,
it.
and I was staring straight at Studio 666, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Because it was.
I'm like,
Because
oh,
it was the
did.
fucking blood underneath the raccoon and the whole tape record. Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So the couple that we haven't talked about, the jungle gym in front of the Voorhees house was used in The Birds.
Well, that's cool. It was a nice house, man. Like, that would be a nice house if it was like prime condition.
Well, not only that, that's all. I find it nice, but I'm also like that. No wonder why it's fucking creepy looking. Mm-hmm. The reason the film is titled Jason Goes to Hell, or Friday Part 9, New Line Cinema did not have the rights to Friday the 13th. They just had the rights to the name Jason. They literally bought Jason and everything to go with Jason.
Oh, so should I have not actually typed Friday the 13th Part 9 on our titles?
You could change it if you want, but yeah, no,
Too late now.
They did not own anything of Friday the 13th. They owned Jason and everything for Jason.
You know what? I totally did it wrong because that's even Chad Daddy had it written. Just Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Well, I fucked that up, but y'all know what it is.
All right, so this behind it,
but it is Friday the 13th Part 9.
It is.
Yeah. So this behind the scenes I knew, but for those who didn't, this really shows good character of Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder, who plays Jason, was severely burned for 80% of his body from the stunt gone wrong, as we all know. As a result, the skin below his neck is discolored and disfigured for 80% of his body. One day after filming, he was peeling off the Jason costume and the makeup off of his body when the young child of a crew member who was brought into the set to see what it was like to make a film became frightened of his burnt skin. Hodder calmly and sweetly picked up the boy and told him that you can touch it. It just looks a little different. It's okay. The child then went and touched it and then was never afraid of Hodder after that. He touched the skin on his arm and see that it didn't hurt him. Immediately, the child calmed down and was having a fun time talking to Kane. It was seeing later hearing that Hodder spent much of his free time at child hospitals that Adam Marcus realized that despite often playing the violent or evil characters, that he has a heart of gold.
Nice.
Which I knew this one, and I knew that he spent time at the child things because children get burned all the time.
Yeah.
So, I love it when I see something like this because everybody knows like he's this big guy who kills people. And it's like, no, he does a lot for, all of that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. He has this one as behind the scenes, but I have a little something different. One of the early concepts was Jason goes to LA, which two rival gangs would be fighting when Jason would show up and start murdering him and they would defeat Jason. That's not actually an original concept. That was literally, they were at the table one day throwing around stupid ideas, and that was one idea, and nothing ever. It was an idea, and everybody made it to seem like that was going to be the next movie.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Okay.
What up, Chad Daddy?
Oh, here's a good one. Jason's heart was used in From Dusk Till Dawn as Monkey Man's heart.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, shit.
It's
Nice.
the same heart.
Yo, man. So that scene when like the coroner is like having his like weird mental gasm with the heart and like before he like fucking chows down on it. In my head, and this is totally like, all I could hear was the heart saying in his brain, "Eat me," like from fucking what the fuck is the movie Kung Pao?
Oh yeah.
Eat me. And I was just like, no. Like every time he looks at it, if it just goes back, if you just dub that over the heart pumping, it's just like, eat me, and then just goes back to him. He's like, no.
Okay,
Fucking
so
parody the shit out.
you're horrible. All right, so Michael B. Silver and Michelle Clooney, who played Luke and Deborah, the two from the campsite where they're all in there having
a very promiscuous couple.
The couple, yeah. They were actually a couple in real life, but broke up shortly before being cast. This made for initial awkwardness when they had to spend hours stark naked and simulate.
Do you think they legit slipped it in on camera?
Who knows?
Without anybody possibly seeing. They're like, well, we know the camera angle's over here. Like by like the 10th time, they're like, yo, like you think he's just like, yo, let me just try it. You know?
I don't know that I could get hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Camera crew there watching.
If your woman was just riding you for 6 hours, there's at some point you're gonna get.
You're popping a Woody.
At some point you're getting over it, homie, because you're just gonna be like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're a better man than me.
So this also
Jason's not dead.
So I know it says in our notes for Jay Hughley. So Jay Hughley did a final draft for Jason Goes to Hell. It was awful and impossible to understand. Cunningham was coming up against a deadline, as in New Line needed to see the script within a couple days, or else they'd have to cancel the project. So this is when he recruited Dean Lorey, who was at the time a friend of Adam Marcus's, and sat with him for 4 days to be like, you need to rewrite this and do what you need to do with it, basically. Laurie stayed on as an ever-present sounding on board on set, but Cunningham also had a bunch of other people rewrite this. But the reason why I talk about the Jay Hughley did the final, or did a final pass. The reason why he actually did it, Sean was trying to help his friend. He was not in good health, but he was about to lose his benefits from the Writers Guild. So they
okay.
Keep your benefits and you'll be okay. What?
You lagged out there for a second, but then you came back, so you're good. That's weird.
All right, so So here, released on August 13th, 1993, the day after my birthday. Jason Goes to Hell was ultimately grossed $15.9 million, an improvement over Part 8, which was $14.3. This made it the second lowest grossing Friday at 13th at that point, although $15.9 million was enough to make it the highest grossing horror film of 1993.
Interesting. What? I mean, dude, 93.
That was a rough year.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't think specific horror wise because, like, anything I think 93, dude, it's instant Jurassic Park. Like, that's the only thing that comes to my head for 93 movies.
Yeah,
maybe Ace Ventura, but I feel like that was 94.
All right, we'll get a couple more in here.
Yeah,
just a couple.
What
more.
else you got, buddy?
So, Tony Todd auditioned for the role of Creighton Duke, but lost out to Stephen Williams.
Really?
Yeah. Although I'd be very curious, though. Only because he I think he could do it. But it would be very hard now since we've gotten Stephen Williams.
93 was not a good year for horror.
Stephen Williams was... When did X-Files start? Was that 93 or 92?
Probably 92. It sounds like it would be 92.
Because he's in X-Files and he plays X, but I can't remember if he's even in... I don't think he's in until season 2. But I don't...
93 of September 93.
Okay, so after. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so he doesn't even have X-Files fame at this. Okay. Because that's what I was going to kind of give him maybe the leg up on, but I don't know. Maybe they just thought his acting chops were a little bit more solid.
Probably.
I mean, I'm not trying to disdain on Mr. Tony Todd by any means on that. You know what I mean? He might have been a little bit more like callous and like Grizzly, which we would personally love, but maybe that's not what they were trying to go for with that character. I don't know.
That's fair.
But
Okay,
interesting.
so we got a couple more little good ones here. I like this fact because nobody at the time did this. Jason Goes to Hell was released on VHS in both R-rated and unrated versions, and on DVD with both the R-rated and unrated film on the same disc, and also a separate. The unrated version being 3 minutes longer, which is where you get all the blood and guts.
Wait, you said on VHS, so they came
Yeah.
with the double decker styles?
No, when the movie came out,
Oh,
you
it's
had
just
to
one
order,
or
you
the
had to
other.
order 2 copies. You had to order 2 copies or 4 copies of the same movie in 2 different cuts. In other words, it was much more money because you could get the theatrical, which was the rated.
Right.
Or the unrated, you have to order 2 copies of that. So you
weird.
need 4. You need 4 different things for that. So this was the first Friday the 13th film released uncut in North America. The original was released uncut in the U.S. on the deluxe DVD in 2009.
Uncircumcised. All right.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know where he found this, but I would love to hear this story. Tobe Hooper was originally considered to direct.
Really?
I want to know when that conversation happened. Here's
Tobe
one.
Hooper, Friday 13th.
So Adam Marcus, if you see this, message any one of us. I want to know if this is a true thing, because that's just very interesting right off the bat.
I mean, I'm glad Adam got the gig because obviously
yes.
it helped him out. But man, that's just what to think of a Tobe Hooper fucking Friday 13th.
Right. I mean, there's no one else who could have done this movie better than Adam.
You almost wonder if they had that name on there, they would have gave it some more budget.
Maybe. But they had Sean on there, so why not give it more then?
Because he's not doing it. He's EP. He's probably the one who's giving the money, and he don't want to fucking do it.
But I mean, Adam directed this movie flawlessly, but I'm so curious if that was really a thing. All right, here's one. This is a go. Adam Marcus has revealed that originally intended for the film's male protagonist, Stephen Freeman, to be Tommy Jarvis, but could not include him because New Line did not own the rights to the Tommy character at the time, and he was forced to make a new character.
You know what? Now that you say that, I could see that kind of being a Jarvis character very easily. Like, he doesn't necessarily look him, but just some of the mannerisms, and especially like if he found out he had a kid and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Oh, dude, I would hope if they were going to be able to continue that character, go with that guy. But that's okay. Wait, now you mentioned earlier in the episode that he carried over, or at least he was in the series at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the same character, or was he a completely different character? Do you know?
No, different character.
Different character, just happened to be acting in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I was really hoping, because I'm like, I know that series really didn't have anything to do with Friday the 13th.
No, it was like X-Files.
No, it wasn't. Don't even fucking say it was. No, X-Files
was like a shitty version of X-Files.
Dude, it was like The Outer Limits, but shittier than that.
Whoa, I like The Outer Limits.
I like the intro to The Outer Limits. It used to creep me out as a kid. But I didn't like all the stories so much.
It was like Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay, here's a good one, and I'll get one more, and then we'll move forward. So Sean S. Cunningham said to Adam Marcus not only to get the damn hockey mask out of the movie, but to also choose not to pick up after Friday the 13th Part 8. Instead, choosing to ignore all sequels and follow after the original, but to use bits and pieces of the sequels.
Okay. Makes sense.
Which I think, I mean, if I'm honest, if it was going to say pick up after a sequel, make it Part 4. Because it would kind of match up. Let's just say he's dead for a bit after Part 4. Let's just say, to some sort of degree. Then it would make a little more sense as to he's not buried and rotting in the ground and comes out like the way he does.
I think I personally would have picked I would have picked it up after 6. I would have retconned.
He's already undead.
I would have retconned 7 because I'm like, no, we're not bringing psychic people into this shit. But retcon it of 6, and then that way you could still have Tommy's character somehow into it, whether it gets killed off, so he's not there, and you do a Halloween 4, and you have some new character with their bloodline or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Well, see, that was actually okay. So here's my fact. One more, we're done.
Yeah, you're fine.
Adam Marcus did a 3-day treatment that he bought to Sean Cunningham, and in that treatment, it was supposed to pick up after part 7, actually. Where Jason's in the lake. Elias goes and picks Jason up out of the lake.
Oh, we're going dad. Okay.
No.
Ooh.
He made him his brother. That's where it was supposed to be. Jason had a brother. It was Elias.
Okay.
It wasn't supposed to be a father. I know people say that comes from that part 6 novel that came out, but
I have no idea where it came from. I just always heard it.
Yeah, but
I read it in the Pamela comic.
Yeah, because
that's the only reason I know
Adam
about it.
said no. I made him his brother, not his father. But anyway, he goes and gets Jason. They have a big fight. That's where Elias gets Jason's heart, eats it, becomes Jason. But since Elias is so weak as a character, he has to keep moving. That's where the body hopping came in. That's where all of this backstory of family came in. So he was trying to make it where it was the brother thing, which would have made it, I think, better than knowing
that might have been a different gimmick, but I don't dislike it. It's just
I don't either.
Like I feel like I would need to see a real like sussed out version of it and be like, okay.
And by the way, so a lot of that information that I got there, Adam did an interview. I forget. I listened to it on YouTube. I will find that real quick and give the guy a shout out because he interviewed him when we're done. But so that's where I found that out. And then one more, the 3-issue comic adaptation of the Jason Goes to Hell Final Friday was written by Andy Mangels and published by Topps Comics. As the comics are based on the original shooting script of the film, elements that were left out are used in those comics.
That'd be fun to read those.
I have them. Oh, they're so much fun to read.
Nice, dude. Chad, Bobby is house sitting for his brother right now. He's pet sitting.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, it's the PodBoss.
Oh no.
Do we have video or is he just an ominous voice?
Ominous voice.
Ominous voice.
Hey!
PodBoss.
Howdy, boss.
Just get home from work?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, buddy. All righty.
Okay,
Anything else, Bobby?
No, but I'll give the credit where the credit is. The interview that was conducted with Adam for the stuff that I just talked about and a lot of the other stuff in this was from Midnight's Edge on YouTube. So anybody listening, go give them a shout out. Check out that interview as well.
Word. All righty. Right, so I don't even know if I need to ask this first question because I feel like we probably all watched it on the same thing. But what format did you watch this on, boys?
The Blu-ray.
Unrated Blu-ray.
I watched the rated, unrated Blu-ray. But still, nonetheless, good time. Who's the douche of our film here?
I say Stephen Culp because he was a complete dick to his.
The fucking.
Wait, what? Scoobs, you blocked out there.
I fucking.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Scoobs is lagging. What do we got?
Oh, no.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
We lost you again, Scoobs. You're back, I think.
I'm going to refresh.
All right.
I say Stephen Culp because he was a complete dick. I mean, I can't think of anyone else.
Was that the older cop?
No, that was the guy who was dating Jessica, who...
Oh, the show host.
Yeah, we see in the Voorhees house, he's like, oh, I went and stole her mom's body and went home and fucked her daughter. Like,
bro,
really?
Yeah, you know what? No. Yeah, that's that dude definitely takes the cake for this movie. That's
what I was saying when I froze, that he was the douche.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, just that line right there. That's all you had. That was such a terrible, like, wow, asshole. All right. Favorite kill. And we have a lot of them.
Oh, God.
I mean,
everybody can say tent. Tent's an easy go-to with this.
That is the easiest one, but I feel like that's
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something else from you guys.
I know something. I'm going.
My favorite kill was the Jason blow up.
You know, actually, one that doesn't get enough credit: the arm snap of the chubbier dude.
Wade? Oh, Ward's death.
Ward's death.
Yeah. Ward, sorry.
Nah, you know something? I'm going with Deputy Josh, man. He fucking melted like a motherfucker. And I still think that's one of the grossest body melts.
The melting was nasty, but I actually think I'm going to go with the other, his buddy there who got the neck chop. Because he killed by his own friend, and I still kind of consider it part of the death, but that's when you get to see Demon Jason fucking coming out.
Randy, yeah, when he slices his neck open, yeah, that's a good one too.
Because just like when it starts coming out of the neck, you just have that like, ew, what is that?
Bear hug, cool.
I like it when he kills what's her name in the diner.
Joey B.
Yeah.
Oh, with the fucking elbow to the face.
With the elbow to the face.
Okay, so out of those two with the husband and her, what would be worse, the fryer or the elbow? Because I'm thinking fryer
would be bad because you're going to be trying to like gasp for air.
Yeah, that's not like instant death. You know what I mean? Like that's just like, oh my God, drowning in fire. Like that's all that is.
Like the opposite in Jason X with the fucking nitrogen.
Oh, the cryogenic. Yeah,
that was like instantaneous almost. You're like, all right, that's good, whatever.
But no, I like the elbow. It's simple. And it's not that gory, but her face is all fucked up. I just fucking love it.
It's also a great kill because she's just cursing him off, and all of a sudden, instantly, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
that's it.
A lot of cool deaths happen off screen in this movie, and
yeah, that's true. That's true too.
We only see the aftermath, you know, like when they show all the dead security guards and
the
stuff.
Security guards. Rest in peace, Kane Hodder.
Which, if this was an on TV show, there's no way they're fucking showing dead bodies like that.
Unless it was a fucking on the Spanish channel because they don't.
I didn't have that, Steve.
Fuck. I'm just saying. Growing up as a kid watching the Spanish channel, I saw fucked up shit.
Really?
They would show dead bodies of like fucking shootouts and shit that happened in Mexico, and I'm like, I'm 6. Why am I watching this, Grandma? Why the fuck am I watching this?
Was this the news?
Yeah.
Damn, man. You guys run way more hardcore.
Telemundo's hardcore, bro.
Fucking A, bro, I guess. Oh, man. All right. Best scene, homies.
Oh, God. That's a hard one, actually.
You know what I think it's in the unrated version, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's actually, isn't the original diner scene with Creighton there, isn't that more extended where you get like almost.
Oh, you're talking about the one shot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I love that because it's such like a crazy establishing shot for all the characters.
Adam wanted a way to introduce all the characters all at once.
Yeah, and it's perfect.
That was his way to do it, but it's not in the full film,
right?
Because it's a very long sequence. But
it is.
If you pay attention, it had to take a really good camera operator to pull that off because you're moving throughout that diner. And that diner is actually a car dealership converted to a diner. That's why it looks very
good.
So, and then, like, how many characters are you literally meeting in that?
Every single person that is in the story at that point.
Yeah. So you're like a solid 15 people.
Yeah.
Easily. In like one solid 2-minute potential pan.
And behind that car dealership is where they blew up Jason.
Oh, nice.
Did you guys talk about the diner shootout yet and why it's slow-mo?
No, we did not.
So Adam was really big into John Woo, and I think he even went to a John Woo premiere around this time. So if you guys ever watched a John Woo film, the whole fucking film, like there's action sequences that turn slow-mo out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So he literally picked that right up from Chinese action films.
No shit.
Time.
Right on.
Hong Kong cinema. Yep.
Nice.
So favorite sequence.
Yeah, what do you got for best scene, boys?
I don't know.
The ending when Jason's getting pulled into hell only after he knocks over the bird's jungle gym.
Which, by the way, weighed close to over 500 pounds, and it took a sea of 10 guys to do it. Kane Hodder comes over and tips it over by himself.
It was the actual jungle gym used in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That's why there was a bird welded on the top.
Yeah, I threw that in there.
I just like that Steven was like stuck at the bottom of it.
And Adam even interviewed Tippi Hedren for one of the roles, and he had to tell her no.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, if I'm picking a sequence, not just because I'm a Jason fan, but I love it when he fucking comes up through the floorboards and he just
his resurrection.
He just looks so pissed off. I'm like, yeah, that's a pissed off man,
dude. And he's got He's got that part 7 through the window vertical leap going on, dude.
Yeah. And I'm just like, that's a pissed off man. I would have been like, you know something? Fuck you guys.
You could put heavy guitars behind that scene and it just gets cooler.
Yeah.
You know why he was able to jump that well is because he tucked
yeah.
his shirt in first. Before
His
he
shirt
did
was
it.
tucked in. Yep.
And
More
he-
aerodynamic. Yep.
Yep. Didn't hold him down.
I'm gonna go the cameo at the end.
Ooh. You know, we didn't even really talk about that at all this fucking
No,
episode.
No, we
did
actually
not.
did not.
That would be fun. So I've sourced where that glove came from through interviews and stuff. I don't think we've ever talked about this in a public place before of where that glove is or where it came from. So as you guys know, I'm part of the Nightmare on Elm Street community and the New Line Friday the 13th movies. I'm close to the people who've done both of those. So I asked around. I was like, where'd the glove come from? And I asked Mick and I asked Nick. And then I asked other people. And then they were like, get in touch with this prop guy. So emails got sent. I asked favors. And to make a long story short, apparently it was a Nightmare on Elm Street 5 prototype glove that was given to Bob Shea at some point that was left into his office. So when Adam approached him with the idea, he was handed that glove. So the reason the glove falls apart during that take, so if you slow the scene down, the glove literally comes apart as it's pulling down, is because it was a literal prototype for a Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Nice. No shit.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, you go back, the markings aren't exact, but they're very alive markings like they are in part 5. Yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense now.
That's cool.
It
I never noticed it personally falling.
to figure that out.
I didn't personally notice it falling apart, but now I kind of want to like slow it down.
If you don't even have to slow it down. It's something. If you look, the ring knife is just, it's like totally gone before he pulls it into the ground.
Oh no shit. Word. Alrighty. Okay. Worst moment or scene.
Honestly, the one that was cut out from the apartment of the boyfriend.
That was Vicky's boy. That was the one I told you guys was cut. Her boyfriend got killed.
That scene is not necessary, but it's also a very well done scene, and I think it could have been in there. It's cool.
Worst moment or scene.
That's the worst thing about this movie is that it was cut.
Honestly, like I think my biggest, I know it's a stupid disdain, but I feel like I just didn't like the credits intersect in the beginning. I either wish we just got some quick credits or no credits. They just felt a little cheesy.
It feels like a 23-year-old was going really hard and trying to make something.
Hey, listen, I give credit where credit is due, man. Because you know what? As a 38-year-old, there's no way I could fucking pull this off. So the fact that a 23-year-old did, by all means, dude. But no, I feel like that was just because, like I said earlier, if you've never watched it and you're going into watching it, the credits definitely, I feel, kind of date it instantaneously.
Yeah, the credits definitely do.
But at the same time, just to counteract that exact point, it's a slice of early 90s nostalgia. And it's
full
that
out.
too, yeah.
Full on 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
worst moment for me is the fact that the towel did not fall off while she was running through the woods.
That's funny.
Oh, I can't wait till you guys see the documentary, The Towel. Oh,
that's good. We're going to mention it at the end.
Don't call it a comeback, people.
Okay, so if I had to pick a moment, it's not even a moment. It's literally a snippet when Jason is fighting Stephen Freeman.
Okay.
What? No. Why do you take the rake handle and just beat him, dude? Like, go after him and like start trying to pluck his eyeballs out or something.
He was just fucking with him at that.
But here's the thing: nobody uses uses a rake at a convention. Bobby, we know what you need to do.
I do. Well, now wait a minute. I do have something on. Well, it'll be to me in November.
You need a breakable rake.
We'll see what happens because I have something coming in November. That is Jason Goes to Hell, basically. So we'll see.
There you go. That's true. I have never seen a rake accompany a Jason cosplayer yet. That would be a first.
No, I'm just gonna come in, not even with the rake. I'm gonna come in with the fucking handle and just walk around and start beating people.
Just a broomstick and just start beating shit out of people.
A foam replica of the Jungle Gym.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, if I had to pick a moment where it's like, really, That's what you picked?
That, I mean, the fact that he murdered everybody was such like precision throughout it, but he was definitely fucking with him at the end.
Well, my other problem is that guy got up way too easily from getting smacked in the face with a fucking shovel.
Yeah, I definitely would be.
There's
down
no way. No way.
Oh man, especially with Hodder behind that fucking shit, like primed Hodder. All right, opening scene, hook you in.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
It was like Steve said earlier. It was literally a perfect montage of every, like what cheese, but perfect Friday the 13th little moment. So yeah,
great job. Now clean this shit up.
Okay, well that's easy enough. Most attractive character.
The girl in the beginning.
My towel.
Kari Keegan.
I kind of like the redhead. I can't remember.
Vicky, yeah.
Vicky, yeah. She's kind of cute.
Vicky, yeah, okay. Huh? Oh, wait, no. The girl from the campsite. Not the one who's getting it, the taller one.
Oh, the one that's just by herself?
Yeah, the one who tries to get Stephen Freeman to go with her, and he's just like, I'm meeting someone, and I'm in my head, I'm like, bro, no offense, your ex can go away for right now, dude.
You're not even with her.
That's what you're not even with her.
Listen,
dude.
if there wasn't a baby, you know that man would have been there at that campsite. But
did you mention that the people in the tent banging were exes?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I asked the question. I'm like, do you think during all the takes that
if
there was
you
an
listen
accidental
to the
slip
Gore
in?
N More interview with Michael Silver, I get him to talk about his wiener. So
does he slip it in?
Did he slip it in by accident?
There's no way you can't, dude. It's just fucking like it would happen. Even if you didn't mean to, I feel like just natural body reaction at some point is going to be like, hello, whoops. But
I've been here before.
Yeah, right. What's up, Mel?
Oh, hi, honey.
Hi, Mel.
Perfect. Did everybody get most attractive character? I think everybody did. Did the score set the mood?
Yeah, it's incredibly underrated.
It's I will say it's at least a top 3.
From the
walked
weird
into the shit show.
From the weird kids' toys noises to the banging on the metal gate. What gets better than the Manfredini score here?
Leading to that would be best song.
This one didn't.
Was there a song? I can't even remember.
No, there wasn't an actual, like, if we're saying song, there was no actual song. But if I had to pick a piece of the soundtrack, that again would tell me to be like, I got to listen to that whole thing again, and I'm just going to tell you the whole soundtrack. So that's what I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't recall a song, like a specific song.
No. All right, well, fuck that. We'll throw that one in the trash.
Just didn't have the budget for that.
Favorite character, Duke, man.
Duke, yeah, Creighton Duke.
Quint on land.
Who?
Quint on land. Creighton Duke.
Yeah. Now, see, I do love Duke, but Rusty Schwimmer. Man,
all right, I was gonna say Rusty Schwimmer.
She was just that woman of just like, I don't really give a fuck what you're doing here. Shut up and do what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna put a gun to your head right now.
Well, I think Brody is on that same train with you there, Bob, because he would definitely.
Well, I don't know if I would do that, but I know Brody would.
Listen, man, you know what? Sometimes a guy likes a dommy mommy.
She's a wonderful lady.
I love the interview you did with her, dude. It was great.
Yeah.
And people really don't remember her from Candyman. She's the one who has Virginia Madsen pick up her boobies.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yes.
I remember her from Twister and the Perfect Storm. That's where I knew her from.
Twister, yes. I don't think I've ever seen Perfect Storm. So.
Oh, you need to.
It's the good one.
Is that the fishing boat one?
Yeah, with the big wave on the front. The VHS cover had the little boat.
There you go.
The little boat and the big wave.
That's what she said.
Somehow I sadly remember that. Okay, so was it scary? No.
Very scary. When I was little, it scared the fuck out of me.
So here's how it scared me as a kid. I rented it, had no idea at the time that it was going to be the way it was. I wrote a note saying to my dad, please take this back to the store. I fucking scared the shit out of me. And my mom's like, no, you have to deal with it. I went and watched it again and I said, thank you.
Unfortunately, when I saw this one, I was already in my teens, so I'm gonna have to say no. But maybe if I was a kid, yes.
I was probably 10 years old. So the movie was 10 years old at that point.
I have a pretty wild story about mine, but it's in the documentary. You can watch it there.
Oh,
that's
buddy,
right.
man.
Nice. I do remember though, and I don't know why there's such an avid memory. Maybe it is for you guys. Yeah, baby Bob, not so much. But I remember talking to kids that September going back to school after it came out, and like all the kids that got to go see it in theaters, and just like, you know, like little kid brain when like you hear stories and like what you imagine versus what you actually see.
Oh yeah,
Way fuck, bro. So like kids are telling me Freddy comes out of the ground and all this shit, dude. So in my head, I already have Freddy versus Jason going on, right? Like going into this movie, yeah, not even fucking close, bro. But dude, I still just remember like those avid bus talks and just being like,
Yeah.
all right. Does it hold up today?
absolutely.
Yes.
Part 8?
This has the best acting and writing of the movies, in my opinion.
Definitely better than part
Actually,
8.
yeah.
It holds up better than part 8.
And part
Part
7, actually.
And part
And
7.
part 7. And part 7.
I still love
If-
7
if
for
part 6
parts of
wasn't
7.
so campy, I think part 9 would be better than that. But part 6 has such good campy moments because Tom McLaughlin's a madman.
Say, I do
Yes.
love 6, man.
6 is
See,
here.
you
No, go
were
ahead,
talking
John.
about the perfect Jason movie earlier, and I feel like that would
It's
be the
6.
one where I
Even
would
Adam would say that his favorite movie is part 6. Tom McLaughlin killed it. Part 6 is perfection.
That's fine if it's not yours. To me, it's just I feel like it has
but
everything that
I'm
it
just
does.
sticking with the statement. There is no perfect Friday the 13th.
No, there's
movie. There
still
is
problems
something wrong
with
with every single one.
Hey,
Oh, I thought
yes.
we're talking about the perfect one.
You
right now.
you do not shit on
No.
caked up Jason, okay? Like that motherfucker.
No.
That boy is thick
Jason had
patties
some
all
cake.
day.
He was thick.
That's right. Just
He was
walking
very
around in the
thick.
daytime. Just All right. Acting, I think we already said it was.
It's
completely
A
solid.
plus. A plus.
100%.
Alrighty. Do cinematography, boys.
Oh,
This movie is the
fuck.
best lit of all of these movies.
That the camera work, if you really analyze this to the other Friday
Ooh,
the
part
13th
5.
films, there's actually some effort here. The cinematographer here, what's his name?
Bill Dill.
Bill Dill.
Bill Dill.
He is, I believe he was more of a mentor to Adam, and he kind of really helps him a lot through this. And the guy's really a class act. And this movie just has a level of professionalism that I just don't think that you see in the other Friday films. I don't know. Might be biased, but
I say the best moment for cinematography, though, is in the end when they're in the Voorhees house. And if you look, it looks like there's water around the house. It's like ripples, waves on the water. Like when reflection hits water and you see the ripples. I love that.
I didn't notice it.
I can't say that if I did either. But I did like when we get the reveal of the house and like the downward pan, so it looks just that much more ominous and big and just nasty.
That house looks like especially if this is where Pamela
like a fun
did the
time, dude.
I'm like that house looks like some shit went down in there.
Fucking A. Brody says part 5 is his favorite perfect one. All right.
It's not Jason though. Sorry.
It's all right. It doesn't have to be. does it?
No, I'm just going by what everybody says. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Did we like the premise?
oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
If
I
you
like
love
yes
The Hidden,
and
you'll
no.
love this movie.
I've never watched The Hidden. That's why we're doing it next week. So very interested.
Just
I
making
mean-
fun of Adam because if you any interview is like, I never watched the fucking Hidden before that.
Didn't Nick give him a shit for it?
Oh yeah.
I liked some of it. I didn't necessarily care for all of it, but this is my original viewing of it. Like I said, watching it again yesterday for the first time in a decade, I definitely enjoyed it more. And maybe it's because we've been going down all 8. So by the time you get to the 9th one, you're like, you know what? A little
It's
different
nice to be a
flavor.
little something different. Yeah.
Yeah. It may not necessarily like
Shit's
work
been
the way
stale for the
I
last
want
3.
it, but it's still better than fucking part 8, man. I
Oh,
fucking
God,
can't
yes.
stand part 8. So yeah, for the most part, I'm gonna say for sure because it was something different.
15
and-
minutes, John. That last 15 minutes.
Wait, of this one or
Of
part
part
8?
8?
No.
Those
No.
last 15 minutes sucked.
The worst.
They're like,
Yeah.
but we get Manhattan. You know what? That's why the SWAT team finally shows up in this
'Cause he
one,
was in
because everybody
Manhattan,
saw him in New York. They're like,
Yep.
oh, that's motherfucker does
Even
exist.
though Part 8 has nothing to do with this.
No,
Yeah, we
no.
know.
But that's what we were just going. All right. And was the climax satisfying?
Yeah, it legitimately said what it was going to do.
I mean,
What the
he
hell?
did go to hell. He did go to hell.
You know what? Not only that, but as a kid, when you see the Freddy doll come up, dude, that's like the ultimate. Just like
Yeah,
I don't know if that's necessarily the climax.
easily the
climax,
coolest setup for what would happen in 10 years later.
Well, the fact also that the fact that Adam had to go to court for that because they're like, he came up with the idea and it's like, I got to go to court for this shit.
Still, I enjoyed it. And I also enjoyed weird demon Jason just impregnating himself into a dead corpse.
That was put in later because they cut out the big demon sequence.
I mean, the big demon was cool too, but I don't know, the fact that it was just
how was he gonna fit up in there?
I don't know. Demon magic. Demon magic, baby.
Have you ever heard of a genie in a bottle?
Oh no. Alrighty, boys. Let's oh no, we got to recycle, rewind, remake, or reboot. I'm just gonna rewind it.
Rewind, and I would like to see him do the director's cut if Warner Brothers gives him the go ahead one day.
All right.
And NECA, if you listen to this, somehow get those rights done. We need an Ultimate Part 9, Part 8, and both X's, please.
Yes.
Alrighty, and let me pull up the calculator. Brody started off with a 4.5. Chad, Dad, if you're still in the chat, let us know what your score was.
I asked him to give us a score. He said he was jumping in the chat, and he never did.
Well, we didn't ask him when he was actually in here. So. Yeah. All right, Scuba, what you got, homie?
I don't want to go first.
All right, Boss Man, what do you got?
No, it has to see you go first.
4.75.
4.75. All right, Bobby.
Yeah, 4.5. I'm sticking with
4.5. Sticking with the Brody. Scoobs.
4.
Chad Daddy, 3.7. Thank you, Chad Daddy. And I'm going to go with 3.8. Divided by 6 is a 4.2 for 1993's
That is
Jason Goes to Hell. Hey, man, I feel like that is a, between a bunch of us, that is a good combination of the Friday 13th community.
Hey, some folks like tomatoes. And some folks don't like tomatoes.
Some like potatoes. That's right. But that leads us into next week's episode, which we did already mention. But we're going to be reviewing the same movie again. We're going to be talking about Hidden.
Oh my God. Can we get Adam on for that one?
Oh my God. He's going to be like, why the hell are they having me on for
You're like, you have to watch it to review it with us, though. Like, that's the stipulation.
Mick did the production design on Hidden, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Ted White was in it too.
Chad Daddy. That's a bit generous.
Chad, you gave it a 3.7. That's higher than I thought you were going to do, my man.
Yeah, that's way higher than I thought Chad
You know what?
was
Chad
gonna
didn't
do.
even show up.
He had family stuff.
Chad was being the cheerleader.
But real quick, since before we just go into like nerd news, so for everybody who doesn't know, which I'm sure you do, there is a documentary coming out about this called The Hearts of Darkness. And is that going to be coming out later this year, TJ? Or next year?
So there's talks with people going on right now, which might delay it because I can't say things. But the score's done. The movie's done. And if the score's not done, it's damn near almost being done. So, and it's 2 hours long.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I just so
Or is it
want to
3?
hear it.
No, maybe it's 3 and the extras are 2 hours.
I want to hear.
And this is all specifically about Jason Goes to Hell, correct?
Yes, and the creation of it and everything that went on behind. There's quite the story that happened before you guys even understand, before the cut you guys see. There's a whole other movie.
Well, I did tell them about the treatment that Adam gave originally and how it all started to change a little bit.
Well, there's some really key things in there that's just going to really take people
I'm ready
surprise.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Word. Just let everybody know the Hidden, you can pretty much, it's not streaming anywhere for free right now, but you can pretty much rent it from anywhere. So if you're going to catch that for next week, Is there anything nerdy you boys got? I got nothing this week.
I got
dude.
nothing.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was announced for Mortal Kombat 1.
Fuck yeah, dude. He was announced that. That was a couple
What?
months. That was a couple months ago. They announced that when the game dropped, but they just dropped his trailer this week.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a Johnny Cage skin, which your boy's gonna be playing that shit Thursday night when that shit drops for sure.
He was the last big get from the Mortal Kombat guys. From the get.
Well, yeah, because he was the one. He's the original.
Yeah.
He was the one that was started it all. They wanted a fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme game. Couldn't get the licensing for it, so they made Mortal Kombat, created Johnny Cage, and then there's the fucking rest of history.
No, but they have a video of me fucking with him.
Who's that?
Oh my
Talking to
god.
Brody. Responding to
I was like, wait, what are we talking about here?
here?
Okay, let me put that. Yeah, thank you.
Filmed by Corey Kaufman.
So Sean to get fucked, but they probably won't put it in there. I hope they do, Brody.
They should.
I hope
better.
they do. I hope they fucking do.
Yeah, I don't really have to, at least in the horror realm, there's not too much that's really.
None 2's out right now, so
And it was okay.
horror.
Just saying. I'll say that.
You saw 2 SKUs? Okay, you didn't like it.
Once again, I'll say this about it. I don't care if I spoil it. You got the same conclusion told differently. And
Hey, man.
that does not absolutely.
I
matter.
enjoyed The Pope's Exorcist way more than I did this fucking movie.
Now that I heard was good.
Okay, fair enough. Awesome.
No real big 4Ks or Blu-rays for the horror scene either, so nothing really.
Yeah, as I say, I didn't see anything pop up in the last week, but
No, nothing.
alrighty. Well, I guess we'll fucking cap this bitch up. Once again, next week is going to be The Hidden, so catch that shit out. And 1987 to be more specific.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Boss man, thank you for popping in, dude. I was glad you were able to join.
Hoping that you guys were still going after work.
Yeah, we started a little late today, so that actually worked out.
Well, we
pretty
started late, and I also had some just things. Just I'm like, gotta bring it up. Gotta bring this up. This has got to get in there.
Bob was boiling at the beginning, dude. When
Yeah.
he was just letting Steve and I go.
I'm like, I'm just gonna let you guys
Even
go
if you
for a
don't
little bit.
like this movie, there's just everything about it is just interesting, and the backstory just
It's
I
will say,
movie.
I feel like, and like I don't think you were here at the moment when I said it, but like, first of all, being on this show, dude, for the years I have, it's changed the way I even watch movies in the regular, even if I don't want it to. But yeah, dude, like I definitely had way more of appreciation this time around watching it. It's been a decade since I watched this. And I used to have the older mentality of like, I want to watch Jason. This isn't fucking Jason. But now I'm watching it as an actual just horror movie. And I'm like, you know what?
These characters are
pretty solid.
memorable. This acting is awesome. It's well shot, and these people knew what they were doing.
It is a severe time capsule of 93. And I say
Yes.
that in the best way possible,
Yep.
the most respectful.
That opening, even with just like the car and everything, it feels like 90s.
Average, dude, the clothes.
Yeah.
He looks like our main character looks like he should be like George Costanza's good looking brother.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
He looks like he never left high school.
Yeah.
I'm still sad we didn't get that full diner shot, dude. I loved that watching that shit, dude.
That's why the director's cut needs to happen. Warner Brothers, listen, please.
Fucking A. Alrighty. Well, boss man, do you want to start us off, man? With our sign-outs?
Well, this has been the PodBoss, TJ Bowser. Catch me on Hypodermic Rabbit Hole and the TJ Bowser Power Hour whenever I start those shows again. Hopefully, it's very soon. Tomorrow's my first day as a professional content creator, so hopefully, thank you. Hopefully, we'll be able to pump out content again here very soon. But until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.
Fuck yeah. Scuba.
As always, I'm your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, the dean of the deceased, Lord Scuba Cabra, saying, see you next week.
This is your killing machine, Bobby Amon, saying, I'll see you next week in my original location, and be prepared for the hidden. See you next week, fuck nuts.
Yeah. For the Chad Daddy, he said he's out, bros, and peace out, bitches. And I am your Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, saying thank you once again, Gorehounds, for joining another awesome episode. We got one more Friday 13th and us, maybe 2 this year. I don't know if we actually put the reboot on the list yet. That's still discussion. But we at least got one more solid of Jason X next month. Spooky month, man. We're getting down to it, boys.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank
Fucking
God.
Preparations are going up next weekend, man. And which is sad because I'm actually way behind. My sister and brother-in-law is already up and full out. It's like, damn, dude. But y'all catch the hidden. Join us next week. Thank you once again for joining us. We love you and appreciate you. And oh yeah, stay fresh, cheese bags.
You can have pickle, but you can't have angry pickle.
Dill pickle penis.